Do not attempt to adjust the programming.
Don't do it.
You are now listening
Don't do it.
and beyond.
Listening to us.
Every week.
That's right. It's B Movies and Beyond. We're back at it with episode 293. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm adjusting the settings, Peter.
Oh, jeez.
I'm doing great. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good as well. I've won 2 fantasy football matchups, so just by the skin of my teeth. Is that the saying? By the skin of my teeth?
I think it's by the skin of your balls.
Oh, yeah, then by the skin of my balls, man. I just barely have pulled out the last 2 wins, and I'm pretty happy about it. So, yeah, doing good.
Did you just like rake your sack over the loser and you just like coddled them?
If they were around, I would have, but no, I did some penis puppetry for the missus, and then that was it. I read it. Yes, she gets
a benefit. Okay,
yeah.
I like that. All right, that's a fair trade.
That's right. So, how you doing?
Well, Peter, it's better than the Raiders in real life.
Isn't everyone?
Yeah, everyone is. I'm doing terribly. I lost this last game. I thought I had a stellar team, but turns out no. Turns out Jerry Jeudy sucks, and turns out Josh Allen just can't run around like Lamar Jackson or Tua Tagovailoa or Jalen Hurts or even Russell Wilson. So I don't know.
That's how it goes. Issues with fantasy football, but we're not here for that. We're here for movies. We got
you were confused if we were doing the sports show. See, this is what happens, Peter. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of you're like, man, am I talking sports right now? Am I talking movies, or am I talking astrophysics, or am I horticulture? I don't know.
Yeah, that was just the Beyond section. It's okay. It's all right.
It's like that movie.
Yeah. What movie?
Click.
Oh, it's like that. Yes, it's just like Click.
Where he just has the one remote or something.
That's right. But we got some good stuff for everyone. Trailers. The Last of Us. Finally, we get to see an actual trailer for that. Some Deadpool news. That's exciting. And we got our reviews coming up. What?
Are we going to spoil the reviews? Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Tell them what we're going to review. Tell them.
Bullet Train and yeah, and everyone's favorite Halloween H20.
Pew pew.
Pew pew. Yeah, little ones. That is kind of how I felt about that movie, but we'll get into that more later. Let's kick it off with our quick question.
What? How? Why? I have so many questions!
Peter, is that you yelling it?
No, why does everyone think it's me yelling it?
Because you don't know how you are when you become Bruce Banner. You start yelling things.
When I become Bruce Banner, so I'm always the Hulk. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So when I calm down and I just yell things as Bruce Banner. Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe that's how I say it. So, but I do have so many questions, but not this one. I didn't come up with this one. So what is it?
I didn't come up with this one either. Someone just asked me via just talking back and forth, and it's a good question. What is your comfort movie? What is that movie where, like, you know, you got a low day or you got just a day and, like, you're just going to watch a movie. You've watched it a bajillion times and you can always watch it. You don't have to recite it, know it by heart or anything. You can. It doesn't matter. Just that one where it's your go-to and you just feel good.
Yeah. Or is this like more like, in other words, like the movie that you just don't turn on turn off when it's like on TV, you know, like on cable?
Mm,
Is that a little bit different?
it's a little bit. So that would be the one where you stumble upon it. Yeah. Okay. Good call. It's the one that you stumble upon, and you're like, yeah, I could watch that all over again.
Yeah, like there's like certain movies that are just like, oh, I every time it's on, I just wherever it is, you just start watching it and you don't turn it off, right?
Exactly.
So, which I mean, I guess is technically it's it's a comfort, right? It's something that you're familiar with, and it brings you joy. For me, I would say, I mean, Ghostbusters is definitely up there for me.
Good call.
Also, also Ninja Turtles.
That's mine. But go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh, sorry. Ghostbusters for sure. But now, like, I guess now when I'm like, this is what I did that last time. Like the last episode, I recommended, Avengers in Infinity War and Endgame. I often find myself going to like some Marvel movies, just random ones, because they're all pretty good. Because they're easy to sit through, right? And I usually feel pretty good when I'm done. So,
Peter, ever since you opened my eyes to the way that Marvel just doesn't care about having this epic storyline anymore, and they're telling individual stories, like Thor: Love and Thunder is a storytelling movie. I've looked at Marvel movies a completely different way. I am now able to look at these movies as independent movies in this universe and little things tied together. It doesn't have to be this long drawn out epic saga. So I agree with you on the whole Marvel thing. Like it's one of those where you could watch Avengers, one of them, and you'd be like, okay, well, I don't have to watch the other one. And I was good with that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm done. Yeah, well, I'm glad I could open your eyes to that.
You really did, and it's been resonating with me for about 3 episodes. So, kudos to you. That's a good podcast host right there.
Oh yeah, that's what we do. We open each other's minds.
Yeah, and like pants, maybe, I don't know.
Get those balls up over.
Yeah, it's the bat wing over your fantasy football opponent.
Is that how? Oh, is that what that's called?
I think
it
so.
Is that how Batman glides?
Yeah, he just stretches his ball sack over.
That's why that scene in the Batman, or Twilight's, he's like, psyching himself up because he's like, oh man, this is the first time I'm stretching those balls, and he was a little shaky, a little nervous on that.
Hey, I don't blame him, man. If I had to stretch my balls out for the first time like that just to fly, I would be a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I hear you. So, well, I kind of spoiled yours, but it's, I guess, is it the first one, second one, all of them, third?
You know what it is? It's the second one mostly, and then the first one. So Ninja Turtles 2, and then 1, and then I can watch 3. Like I'm fine with 3. But the one that we didn't talk about for me is it's like early Tim Burton movies. It's like Batman Returns, Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice. Any one of those, they come on, I could just watch them from front to back.
Oh, Beetlejuice. That is, I mean, it's the Halloween time right now. I need to watch Beetlejuice. It's been a really long time since I watched that. But here's the thing that I just thought about. Like, there is something to that comfort, like I don't know about you, but sometimes I get a little bit burnt out on watching all this new stuff. I'm like, I need something that I'm familiar with. I need something that I can just tune out the rest of the world, and I, even though I've already seen it, and there's something to that.
There is something to that, and I caught myself doing this. Like every time we do an episode, I'm like, man, I just watched a new movie. That's what I'm reviewing. I think I need to start going back into the database and just watching, Poultrygeist or Zombie Strippers or, something Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
Those movies bring me back to the roots. Those are my comfort movies. So, and yes, it is Toxic Avenger is another one of those. That's one where you're like, that movie is fantastic.
Yes, absolutely. Nice. good question to whoever you had. You were talking back and forth with.
Well, it's a lot of people, Peter.
Oh, okay. All right, let's get into some trailers.
Oh, I gotta find the trailer drop.
Oh, I sprung it on you.
That's fine. I knew it was coming up. I should have been ready.
Here are some exciting coming attractions from
Movies and Beyond.
Us.
I like how that we open every segment with us.
Yeah, it's us.
Peter,
Ryan.
when I did the you know how we did the last episode and we were talking about doing the sports show, you're like, man, it's nice to have a producer. I did the show the other day, and like I had a radio announcer guy go, well, this is a fan cave with Ryan and Roman from Jazzy Mile High, and I was like,
So he did
hell is
he
that?
did all the stuff. Wait, they didn't even warn you about it?
Well, we typed some stuff up. I didn't know when they were going to be live.
That's awesome.
I was laughing. Dude. I was
That's
like, thanks,
great.
radio announcer guy.
Yeah, man, you're getting fancy.
No.
Wouldn't that be great if you just had like, Justin or Aaron come on and they just do a little announce us and now it's them, B Movies and Beyond each time. In each segment they intro it.
Dude, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
What do you want, Aaron or Justin?
I don't know. Maybe we need to mix it up every once in a while.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It'd be
Future.
fun. But that's all they get to say though. They don't get to say anything else.
Next segment, news with Peter and Ryan.
Yeah.
That'd
That'd be great.
I love it.
All right, what do we got for trailers?
Oh, we got a gaggle of trailers.
Yeah.
The first one is the actual trailer for The Last of Us.
Yeah, I mentioned in the front, finally here, which I know. Well, I think you had a little bit of some issues with it, or just the idea that's video game going into a TV show, and afraid they're going to change it too much. You and Evan kind of had issues with that, but I don't know. How do you feel about watching this trailer?
I felt like they could have just did a preview for the video game and been like, oh yeah, the TV show's coming out.
So does it look like they stayed true to it, or
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, did you watch it?
I watched the trailer, yeah, but I never played the game, so I have no idea what the game is.
Oh.
I had the very general sense of it seems like some type of zombie apocalypse, and
Zombie what?
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
You're following the last survivors, I guess.
That's basically what you get out of it. And you just have, our favorite space Mexican, Din Djarin, and then we get some girl who doesn't look like Ellie from the game. So
They gotta change it up sometimes.
might throw me off. I might not care. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for the trailer itself, I think I was impressed. It made me want to watch the show. I like the overall tone of it, so I'm in for it. I'm in for The Last of Us. Hopefully, it does the video game justice. I won't know either way, so hopefully, this make a good show.
I like it. Next one, we can skim through it real quick because I think the movie is coming out, but it's the final trailer for Smile. This is one of I think it's a self-proclaimed scariest movie of all time. Someone was telling me that the other day. I think it was my niece. She's like, hey, uncle, did you know the scariest movie of all time is coming out? And I was like, oh, yeah? Which one?
Yeah.
And I'm like, they all say that. They all say that. Like, I don't think this movie is going to be that scary. I don't think a bunch of random people smiling and killing people is terrifying. So, I do like the marketing that they did for this movie, though. I don't know if you noticed, but they got some paid actors to stand in crowds or in baseball games or Good Morning America or the Today Show, and
That's what that was.
that's what they were doing. Yeah,
I do like that data. I seen a couple of those and the pictures of it. I'm like, what is this? What's going on? And I mean, why is this making news? Who cares? That person just has a weird smile. Leave them alone.
it was brilliant marketing from a movie that, I mean, they don't have to spend that much money. They just had to have people out there and smile. So kudos to them.
Yeah. I'll probably wait till it's streaming, but
I will too.
Oh man, I got this next one, Bromates, produced by Snoop Dogg. I felt like this is trying way too hard to be funny. It looked terrible.
I just don't know. Like, I don't think Snoop Dogg has the type of power that he thinks he does for the mass people. You know, like, like having his name as executive producer on this doesn't. I'm not like, oh man, I really need to go out and see this. This reminds me of like a Method Man and Redman kind of thing. They're like, yeah, it's produced by Method. It's How High with Method Man and Redman. Like this, the same thing with Snoop Dogg. Call it a
but
day.
those were kind of funny.
It might be funny. We don't know yet.
Well, okay. I'm just saying from this trailer, did not appear to be very funny. Like it seemed like they were trying very, very hard to throw in every single little gag and make this very entertaining and hilarious. But like everything that was happening is like, I don't care that you're not like, I didn't laugh at all during that trailer.
Mm-mm.
Like
not even like the scene of like, well, it seems like 2 or 3 things people are saying that they cheated on them and they're supposed to be in funny ways, but they're really not, you know?
Yeah, you just feel sad for them.
Yeah,
these 2 guys that get cheated on, they're getting divorced, and they're like, "Hey, we should become roommates," and they're like, "No, should be bromates." Which, again, is that supposed to be funny? I don't know.
Don't know yet.
Didn't make me laugh.
I don't have a bromate.
Yeah,
I don't bro relate.
No, not at all. Next one.
Have we reviewed this trailer?
Dude, they're all blurring together for me. Just when you thought, again, I think we said this a few times now, just when you thought Bruce Willis was done, it's like his last film, there's another new trailer for a new film that Bruce Willis is in. I'm starting to think that maybe he does not have an illness and he's just making up lies just to get some sympathy and get his name, get back up to that, maybe that A list, probably won't get up that high, but maybe back to that B list, and get some new movies made, get some audience going to it.
That is a very bold statement, but I actually agree with you. I mean, or Hollywood has enough data of Bruce Willis, of his voice and his likeness that they're just, what's it called? Not CGI.
Superimposing,
but there's deep faking. They're just deep.
Yeah.
like likeness, voice, everything. So we're gonna have Bruce Willis for the rest of our lives, which I'm cool with that.
You think it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Dude, what if that was the precursor to Bruce Willis's career?
Well, it's Looper, man. He's gotten the full on makeup for the old Bruce Willis, and it's really just him. It's just Lovitz.
That's crazy. Never thought of that, but you might be right on that one.
Full on Looper.
Full on Willis.
Yeah.
Peter, did you watch this last one?
I did. I actually saw this one a while ago, and we talked about it on the podcast. This is to complete the trilogy for X, I guess.
X-Men, right? Or X the porno?
Just X the porno. It's Maxine with triple X's.
Are we getting 80s style Hollywood porno in a horror movie?
It sure seems that way.
Hell yes. I will forget about every old lady problem I had with.
Hey, that's a good thing, right? Like the old people are gone, and so hopefully they don't bring that back, right?
It's the 80s. I mean, I don't think anybody was really old in the 80s. Even the Golden Girls weren't old in the 80s.
No, absolutely not.
They were like normal age.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see much. This is really just more like an announcement. But the overall vibe of it, just kind of like seemed like as a VCR tape going in, and you got the auto tracking, and you're going to be in Hollywood in the 80s. It's going to be a pretty good time. So I'm excited.
Dude, I think that's when I would, if I was in Hollywood, I'd want to be in Hollywood in the 80s.
I think it's a pretty good time. Good time to be there.
Either that or I'd want to be a professional wrestler in the 80s because I would be able to do so many steroids and so much cocaine.
Oh, the heyday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Anyway, Maxine, I'm back in. I mean, I'm not too interested in Pearl, but whatever. I'll manage my life.
You got to complete the trilogy, man. So,
you got to complete the trilogy. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Holy shit, what the fuck? Apparently, Mia Goth, the chick that plays Pearl, and who also plays Maxine, she has a screenplay credit for Pearl. That's interesting.
Isn't she like married to the director or something?
I don't know, but that would make sense that they're collaborating on this.
Oh no, she's married to Shia LaBeouf.
No, is really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
From 2012 to 2018, and then 2020 till now.
Interesting. Okay.
You know what I like about this is each one of these movies has its own style, but it's a trilogy. But it's not like a trilogy style. And that's okay. You can do that. Ninja Turtles, you can do that. DC
Absolutely.
Universe, you can do that. It's totally fine.
It is totally fine.
It's okay.
So, well, those are our trailers for the episode. Some I'm interested in, some I'm not. But what I am interested in, this next topic. News by us.
By us. I like. We want to start a news channel. What do you want to call it? News by us.
Oh man,
that'd be great. Okay, we have two major updates with Sir Ryan Reynolds. Is he a sir? Do they knight them in Canada?
It's probably called something different. What's something that's unique? Like
poutine?
Yeah, poutine. They poutine them in Canada.
They just pour a bunch of cheese on them.
Yeah. And gravy. Isn't there gravy on top?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you're going to make me hungry.
Oh, man. What's that about? Yeah, we got some Deadpool 3 news, which is pretty exciting. There's two videos that just recently came out by Ryan Reynolds and a special guest, which I guess, everyone should know about this already, right?
By now? Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll throw it out. Spoiler alert. We're getting Wolverine. And we're not just getting Wolverine, we're getting Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Or Hugh Jackman, sorry.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
Jackman.
Yeah. What is coming out 2024, right?
Okay, my question to you, Peter, is does James Cameron have a word in this? Because the last Deadpool came out in 2018.
Yeah.
And is it too late?
No, it's definitely not too late.
Right.
There's been so much shit going on with this, and Fox, right? The second one came out, Fox starts, gets sold, and that takes a little bit of time, and so they weren't really making new stuff. So, you were waiting for this though, and here it is. You know what this also kind of means, though, is that somehow you're probably going to get some mutants, right?
Okay. My question is how does this relate to the MCU? I mean, because dude, Hugh Jackman's not going to be the MCU's Wolverine.
Well, you're in the multiverse, so they can do whatever they want.
I know. So are we going to see like a bunch of like Fox X-Men? Like, will we see James Marsden like roll up with Cyclops gear, hanging out with Sonic?
I mean, we could.
Minus
Could,
the Sonic part, probably.
I mean, but here's the thing though: is September 6th, 2024. You know, previous episodes we looked at all those like Marvel announcements and everything, and trying to like predict, and there wasn't pretty much all we knew about for 2024 was that, Fantastic Four's coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I see what you're saying. Is that going to be the beginning of the mutants?
it could be there, but also we know there's a handful of movies in that time frame. So I guess what I'm trying to put out there, Ryan, is that you have a somewhat of an idea that somewhere around that time frame in 2024, at least, if not in 2023, you're going to have some X-Men, or at least mutants, which apparently you already have one. Is Miss Marvel's apparently a mutant. Apparently, I don't know.
Dude, I can't wait to see Rogue beat up Carol Danvers. That's gonna be the coolest. And then there's been rumors circling that Rogue might be played by the actress in Nope, and she's black, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
That would be so Disney, but so appropriate to have a black actress play Rogue, because she could be Southern, she could be from Louisiana, she could still be the character of Rogue, and it just wouldn't matter. It's not a big deal. Remember our Little Mermaid thing? It's not a big deal. Don't make it a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
And they could totally do that with Rogue, and she would be a great actress for her. But yeah, I mean, the way that Ryan Reynolds announced this was like, "Hey, sorry, we aren't
At D23.
We were at D23, but we don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna have Wolverine. Cool." And Hugh Jackman's like walking up the stairs. Sure. What? Wait, why are they in the same house together? Like they're hanging out, like they were having a slumber party.
Oh, I think they live together.
Is that what happened? They live together, and then Blake Lively lives in California.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Fair enough.
Um,
Follow up. I know I had it on there twice, but the second one is a follow up to yesterday's video, and it's Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman answering questions, and they play music as they explain the story of Deadpool and Wolverine. So it's real. It's gonna happen.
oh, I believe it. I don't think they would do something like that and then not have Hugh Jackman, at least in some capacity, in that movie. You know? Oh man, that would be hilarious.
Do you think we're gonna see Josh Brolin Cable?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, where is Deadpool? Is he in a Fox universe, or is he going to be in a Disney universe?
Dude, I don't know. But I mean, he literally said, his intro, debut into the MCU. Like to me, that just tells me, like, I mean, he's absolutely a part of this universe in some capacity. So again, it's to me, it's a tease for, all right, we kind of have an idea when more mutants are going to be on the big screen. And it's right around that 2024 time frame. So there you go.
I love it.
Exciting.
Kudos to Ryan, and kudos to Peter for breaking that news about Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. So good job, Peter. Good job.
You're welcome. News by us.
News by us. Next big thing, Marvel fans are starting to rally to get Hugh Jackman in Wolverine's yellow costume. Please do it. I mean, if it's one last ride, just do it. Give us the fan service. I mean, Deadpool has always been really good about the costumes. I love the characters' costumes in Deadpool. His costume is the best. Cable's was spot on. Negasonic teenager, she was good too. Colossus was great. It was awesome. Give us the tiger stripe yellow Wolverine with the mask, and Disney could do it right, so it doesn't look goofy. I'm all for it.
Well, they already teased it in the Wolverine, right?
Yep.
You just you skipped over that phase in his life because then they went straight to Logan.
And
So
you know
we
what's
missed it.
really cool is dude, they can reference the Wolverine X-Men Origins Wolverine with Deadpool. They could reference that Ryan Reynolds. And they could reference that Deadpool, and they can reference that Wolverine and those characters, and then they can go back to the Wolverine with the costume and the Silver Samurai. And Wolverine is one of those characters where he is like Deadpool. He's had different stories and different timelines where they could just throw it together and make it one big melting pot like a stew, and it would just be so good.
Yes, it would be so good.
So love it. Recap on that one. We got some more news. It's not as good as Deadpool, but there's Tim Burton is okay. Why Wednesday is what got Tim Burton to finally make an Addams family project. Did you read this article? No. Basically, he just he wanted to work with Jenna Ortega, and you know he was part of the stop motion Addams family, but he associates with Wednesday. So Wednesday and I have the same worldview. It's her point of view, and it's not the same story over and over. It's the point of view of Wednesday, and I think that was kind of cool. That's one of those the very Tim Burton thing to do.
I like it, but I think the other thing that I just find really interesting is that the Addams Family, the original movie, had nothing to do with Tim Burton, right?
Not at all. Not at all, dude.
Yeah, but I believe like everyone thinks that it did because it was so much like his style. So it's just kind of funny that we're saying, oh, what got him involved with this. It's just kind of funny is that I think everyone always thought that he was involved with the Addams Family, but it's not true.
You know who directed the first Addams Family?
Yeah, it was like Barry
Sonnenfeld.
Sonnenfeld, yeah.
Yeah. Which Get Shorty, Men in Black trilogy, and Wild Wild West. And if you watch Men in Black, it does have a very Tim Burton vibe to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe he's just like the Jewish Tim Burton.
Maybe he is.
I like it.
But that just cracks me up because reading that thing, it just made it seem like he's always been connected to the Addams Family, So
we made it happen. We manifested it, Peter.
Yeah. Oh man, this next piece of news is kind of sad about Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, so Brendan Fraser came out and said that he had a permanent impact on Brendan Fraser's physical health. The Mummy franchise did, and it was Brendan Fraser says he was trying too hard, and that was at a time where, like, dude, he was allowed to be kind of funny. Like, he's more of a funny guy, but it's like they kind of worked him too hard during The Mummy, and you can see it now. You can see people love Brendan Fraser again, and he's had that like comeback feel good story where people have felt bad for him, but he's doing all right. He just worked his ass off too hard on The Mummy,
I heard. It's more than just that. Like stunts that affected him. But then, I watched this video. So I saw a video where there's kind of clips of him on radio shows doing various interviews, and they kind of gave like a summary of kind of what happened to him and why his career just kind of ended abruptly. And so there was a handful of things that is in this little video. So the first thing it was talking about just how, the effects on his body from doing The Mummy, where he had to go and do like I think emergency surgery at one point because of the effects of it, just abusing it. Then apparently at some point there was some sexual harassment on him that I mean, this is, think about it, back in the day, no one cared about this.
Yeah.
And he was trying to speak up because I guess it was someone within like the academy, I believe. One of those like nomination shows. So someone kind of higher up, and no one would believe him. So that kind of put him on like the blacklist. And it just made him. It seemed like it caused like a Great Depression in the guy. Which then he's like, all right, I don't want to be in the mainstream. And that's when you see all those kind of weird movies that he did. It's all because of that. But now that he's like, I guess this new movie where he plays like this big old fat dude, I guess that's getting a lot of attention right now. Like he does a really good job in that. What is that called? It's not Fat Dude.
Brendan Fraser in Fat Dude. What if it's called
Whale? It's called. I mean, it's not much better. It's called The Whale. Jeez.
Oh, Peter.
Yeah, that's just what it's called. I can't help it. I mean,
And you know what?
He looks good.
It's about a 600-pound middle-aged guy trying to reconnect with his daughter. Oh my god!
Sounds touching. Like I've heard that though, that he just acts his ass off, and I love the things that he's been doing, like Doom Patrol, fantastic. And even though you don't really see him that often, but you hear his voice.
Batgirl.
Oh, dude, I gotta say that's probably besides not seeing Michael Keaton, but also not seeing him as the villain is a real bummer. I was looking forward to that. So, I don't know. I'm glad to see you back, Brendan.
All for it.
Yeah, what's this? Some MCU news.
We go back to it. Anthony Mackie addresses Captain America's potential to be in Thunderbolts. So we might see Anthony Mackie in the Thunderbolts. You think it's gonna be like a cameo kind of thing, like he's a side character, like leading them because the Avengers aren't around, kind of thing? What do you think they're gonna go with that?
I think it'll be a cameo part. It's just less, because the whole like Winter Soldier, connection, right? So,
did you see his quote?
Sebastian Stan?
No, Anthony Mackie.
No, I don't think I saw his quote. No.
Anthony Mackie was asked if he would be appearing in Thunderbolts, to which he answered, "I have no idea. You know how it works. Marvel Studio calls you the week before, and you're like, we own your ass. Come get in the movie."
It's very true. I like though. Sebastian Stan said something though, just kind of like, "Oh, great, yeah, I'm so happy I get away from Anthony." Just nudging him. So,
do you think they really hate each other? I think they do.
Do you think what?
Do you think they hate each other?
No, I think they like each other.
I think they hate each other.
No.
Let's reach out to them on Twitter and see.
Okay, figure that out. So,
Okay.
You know who else you can reach out to on Twitter?
Us.
That's right, us.
Ads by us.
Yes. You can find us on Twitter at BMoviesBeyond. You can find us on Instagram at BMoviesBeyond. You can find us on Facebook at BMoviesBeyond. And guess where else you can find us? Ryan?
At BMoviesBeyond.com. And
that's right.
We have our own news channel now, News by Us.
Yep. Find us on YouTube.
We're on Instagram.
Did that.
Buy our shirts. I'm not wearing one, but buy it. And we got hats. Peter's wearing it. And listen, I know you've had that shirt for like 17 years, and look how it's holding up.
Very nice.
Good quality.
I mean, I pretty much wear it every single week. So, yeah.
Sergio wears his every single day, and it's still good.
All right. And if you want to do the easiest thing, guys, just go and like us. Follow us on all the podcast platforms and also on YouTube. That's the easiest thing, and it's so helpful to us. Let's get those numbers up. That's
Hand motions.
That's us.
That's it. Bye. All right, Peter. Man, we got a good show today going on, but you know what? It's the meat time.
Pull the balls out.
Comforting, dude. Comforting.
That's right.
Yeah.
Reviews.
Oh man.
Ryan, we're gonna save yours. You got bullet trains, so let me get mine out of the way. So I'm gearing up, Halloween, I feel it's already right around the corner. And I am a big fan of the Halloween franchise, but I'll be honest, I have not seen all of them, and they're a little bit confusing. And I see why. I mean, you have all these different instances, right? You have the original, and then you had the Rob Zombie ones. You have now. Totally what was that?
They feel totally different.
Oh yeah. And then you had the ones with Danny McBride, these new ones that came out and starting in 2018, that cut off. Pretty much just started off after the original Halloween. And then even with the original ones that went through, you even kind of have this one, Halloween H20, that tried to bring it back in 2000, I believe, right? Because it's 20 years later. And they added elements. I mean, they brought back Laurie Strode, which apparently, what they kind of did in the original, lineage or timeline, I guess that's the easier way to say it, is that they said that she died in a car accident, but basically she faked that so that she could hide from Michael Myers, who is her brother. Did you know all this, Ryan?
Nope. But it sounds like they just kind of winged it,
Yeah. Okay, so my apologies. This came out in 1998, so that was actually 20 years later. So 90s film. She totally you see it, you feel it.
Like Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, it definitely has those vibes to it. And I mean, and this one did well enough because they made that sequel. They made Halloween Resurrection, which that kind of killed the franchise again. So
I like how this is a franchise about a killer who can't die but kills everybody, but then the franchise keeps on getting killed and revived. It's almost like a metaphor for Michael Myers.
Yeah, pretty much. It absolutely is that and that's kind of the truth with a lot of these various horror villains. They try to keep on rebooting these, but we'll see. So Michael Myers is back. He's after Laurie Strode, his sister, because that's what they kind of I think added to this timeline or throughout this, is that basically Michael Myers is just after to try to kill his family, right? Because the original Halloween, he kills all his family, and then he just kind of comes back on Halloween night and starts picking up where he left off with killing more people in the neighborhood, which that's when you find out later on in later movies is that, Laurie Strode's actually his sister that survived, and they gave up, got sent to a foster home, which just so happens went across the street from the original house. That makes no sense. And,
Terrible
and
government.
so, yeah, Michael Myers is after and trying to like finish the job, right, and just kills anyone in his way. So that's the whole premise. And so, yes, he's still after Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, which is still a fantastic scream queen. So, this has the introduction of Josh Hartnett. Did not know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is the first time you see him, or the first time he's acting, I should say. And then it has a whole bunch of other, LL Cool J's in it. He's pretty cool. I love his character, and I believe I think he shows up in Resurrection, if I'm not mistaken, but I haven't watched that yet. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, we already talked about him. He's in this film right in the very beginning. That was awesome to see him as a kid. Gets killed. That's cool. And then, it's a fucking Halloween movie. Michael Myers is trying to kill everyone to get to Laurie Strode, and he doesn't care who's in his way. The funny thing that I thought was interesting that I actually want to see like some short or a follow-up movie on this is that it's kind of like Michael Myers goes on a road trip because Laurie doesn't live in that town anymore. She moved to, oh man, where did she go? I don't know. Northern California. She's the like the dean of this private school there. And so Michael Myers steals cars and does a road trip to get to California to try to kill. Yeah. And so the whole time I was just imagining like, man, it'd be so great just to see how that, like him stopping to get gas and some snacks and just killing people on the way,
Stopping by little diners, and they're like, "How can I help you, hun?" And he's just like pointing at a menu. She walks away, and he just stabs her.
Yep. Oh man,
Michael Myers on a road trip, like him driving a car, like listening to NPR, just like stewing on it.
I want to hear what they're saying about me.
He's just cranking the volume, like doesn't know any like difference in volume, just cranks as loud as possible, just mashing dials and stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, like you said, these movies take place on Halloween. I want to know what happens in Michael Myers' life every other day besides Halloween.
See, that's what I'm also talking about, man. Like he only comes out in October, apparently. Like, yeah, what is he doing the rest of the time? See, they have all this missed opportunities for like at least a short film, or I mean, if you really want to get into it, maybe he's off the rest of the 11 months, like terrorizing other people, like who's he chasing? And it's just October that he gets that urge, like, oh yeah, I need to go kill my sister.
Oh yeah, dude, I forgot this one thing every October. I have to go kill my sister.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'll be back. And then as soon as like, they make it past Halloween, he's just like, well, I forgot what I was doing. I guess I'll just go and find something else to do. Another road trip.
Dude, what if he was like a different killer for like every month? Like he was like Leatherface in the summer, or he was like Freddy Krueger in like other time. Oh, I guess that's Halloween too. Can't do double duties.
That's Halloween.
He plays like, yeah, he plays a killer Santa like during Christmas time. That's the movie studios. This is what we got to see now. We got to see what Michael Myers does on his off time. What if he just works at Sears in the gardening center?
You think he's wearing the mask too the whole time? He has his knife to like garden through everything to like get the weeds out.
he's at Lowell's like just putting planters together and just like, here you go. All right, and they're like, Michael, can you you're not the Michael Myers that's been going after his sister for 20 years, are you? And he just shakes his head. Nope. Oh, okay, cool. Your paycheck will be here on the 14th. Yeah. Like a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know where he lives. He just lives in the shed in Lowell's.
That's right.
Jeez. Oh my god.
Are you saying lows or lols?
Lols.
What? Lols? Isn't that like a word for like laughing? Like, what's lols?
Lols.
How do you spell that?
LOWELS. Lols. Is it lols? Am I saying lols like you say apocalypse?
What you're adding
Low
an
is.
L into it. Lowe's is the home improvement store. Lowell is all I know is it's a street name.
There's Home Depot and there's Lols.
All right.
Am I wrong? It's Lols.
Pretty
Lows. Lows.
Yes, Lowe's.
Lows.
Yeah, there's no L at the end of it.
There should be. It should be lols.
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 All right. So Halloween H20. I felt like it was trying to recapture what the original was, but it doesn't succeed at that by any means. The kills weren't that great. They weren't creative. They weren't exciting to watch. Like, in fact, there's times where I felt like the camera even like cut away and you don't even see anything. So like that was kind of disappointing. There were some moments of suspense where like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And then nothing happens. And so I mean, I guess it did a good job of building that, but you're a little bit disappointed because you want to see some mayhem. Mayhem. See, the word is, man, this is a rough night for words. But I like mayhem. Yes.
I like mayhem. Mayhem.
Yeah, mayhem. It just
Not
sounds
mayhem.
more no, no, not that. And I think it was well acted. No complaints there. Dialogue's fine. It's just nothing special. It's just I think that's the issue. It's nothing special. Like you wanted something epic. Like that's why like Halloween Kills is so fun to watch, because it goes, well, even all those other Halloweens. These later Halloweens are just so brutal, and so like the killings are so creative. Like that's what you wanted to see in this one. And it just doesn't get there. Like they tried to, and they just fell so short. Like I said, I think it was just more the nostalgia of it that got people into that theater to actually create, a sequel to this one with Halloween Resurrection. And so, it's, if you're a completist for Halloween, you got to watch it. You got to follow all these strange timelines with this. And that's what I'm intending to do. And I'm doing it way out of order, but I'm going to watch all of them. I think that is my goal for this Halloween month, is to watch all the Halloweens. So hold me to it, Ryan.
Peter, I'll hold you to a lot of things, but one thing that you're really good at is you're a completist, and you will finish a series. I mean, I will as well, but you, let's say, for example, Saw. Like, you were right there with me with Saw.
I watched
watching
all
every,
those.
and you did the same thing with Fast and Furious. You did a marathon, and so listeners, if there's a series, no matter how long it is, Peter will watch it. Probably Game of Thrones too.
Yeah. I was just thinking about something that I thought I finished and I actually haven't. Do you know the last Freddy Krueger movie? Not the New Nightmare. The one, I believe, before that.
Was it Freddy's Revenge?
No, that's the tagline, or like the second one, I believe. Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. So
are you sure? Because Wes Craven's New Nightmare was after that.
I said not that one, because technically that is the last one with from the original. But
Are you sure? Because the last one is Freddy vs. Jason.
oh shit, damn. Okay, you got me there too. Anything else you want to bring in on that? My point though is that these were all called A Nightmare on Elm Street, and then so I thought I watched every single one of those because that's what I was looking for, not knowing that there's just a movie called Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. So I have not completed a Nightmare on Elm Street uh, series, and I need to. And shame on me. And why didn't anyone ever tell me there's a fucking movie that's not called A Nightmare on Elm Street? That's a part of the series.
Dude, it's not your fault because nowhere does it say A Nightmare on Elm Street 6, The Final Nightmare. And we know that when we play the movie title guessing game, you have to do full title with Peter. So if it, and I agree with you, when I'm putting together playlists on the Plex server, I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, did I get all the movies? And then there's one of them, and you're like, wait a minute, how is that part of the series?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when they change it up like that, especially when they're going in order, they have a certain theme to it, right? And then they just like, you know what? This is the final one. We're gonna change it up. Like, you can't do that. I for a completist, I get very confused. And so even when I'm just looking through like Robert Englund's IMDb page, his filmography, like I passed right over it thinking like, oh, that just must be like some short thing that he did for it, which I'm looking strictly for the movies. So now I know, letting everyone else know in case I'm if I'm not the only idiot out there. But now I got to watch that one too, and I got to find that somewhere so I can complete that. So got to finish that. Got to watch all the Halloweens.
when was the last time he played Freddy Krueger? 2003, huh?
In a movie, yes.
Yeah.
In TV, though, he actually did. Well, this is interesting. There's a Nightmare on Elm Street, Real Nightmares TV series back in 2005. He also did a little cameo spot on the Goldbergs. That TV series.
As Freddy Krueger?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whoa.
I know. Really, really cool. I actually like that sitcom. I think it's pretty funny. But I mean, it's like set like in the 80s, right? And so that was a big deal in the 80s was Freddy Krueger. And so they had an episode where he makes an appearance. So pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
But,
I like that.
yeah.
I didn't
Trivia.
know it's Robert Englund was is it England or Unglin?
I say England. That's probably
Robert
England.
Is in Stranger Things.
Yeah. Yeah, we knew that. You did too. You told me about it.
Dude, he was in Ninja Turtles.
One of the TV shows, the cartoons.
Like
All
that.
right.
Hey. All right. Moving
Let's
on.
move
Sorry.
on. Yeah.
Your review just turned into Freddy Krueger, and you're talking about Michael Myers. Jesus.
I know. Which I guess tells you I don't know who's the better, slasher villain out there.
Was it Mortal Kombat 10 that had all of them in there?
I believe so. Yeah, that was the other thing that he lent his voice to that as well.
Because it was. We could get into that later. Okay, so I watched a movie called Bullet Train. Now, is it a film from David Leitch? Is that how you say his last name? David Leitch?
So
Atomic Blonde, Deadpool 2, Hobbs and Shaw, John Wick. He was one of the main directors of John Wick, so he's an action director. So he's really good at making action scenes, fighting scenes, things exploding, stuff like that. Um, dude, Bullet Train felt like a mix of Kick-Ass and Kill Bill with Brad Pitt.
Oh,
Like, it had a very Kill Bill kind of vibe. Like, you start seeing these interactions with all these different characters as they come in, and the story ties them together eventually. But as it plays out, it's one of those like you go backwards to move forward kind of thing, like in the story to figure out why they're looking for this briefcase, or one little fun story is the story about the water. There's a water bottle in there that continues to pop up. So it's just kind of like a suspense movie, but it's a comedy. So it's a bunch of misfit assassins that like Brad Pitt's character is one where he's like mistakenly just kind of gets out of accidentally not dying or like avoiding death or killing other people, and it's all just very Columbo kind of like where he's like, oh,
Columbo?
Yeah, where he just kind of plays dumb about it.
Oh, okay. But I was like, how many times did Columbo like escape death?
All the time.
Oh, okay.
He's just or like who's that? Like is it Mr. Magoo who keeps on missing like the manholes?
Yeah, because
like,
he can't see, right? That was the whole gimmick, is that like, oh no, he's gonna fall in, and yeah, something else happens.
So every situation Brad Pitt's in is, oh no, he's gonna die, and then someone else dies, or like, and he's the ladybug in this one, and they call him the unlucky American assassin who suffers from anxiety. I didn't really get that in the movie. Like, I got the unlucky part, but if anything, he was lucky. And that's one of the jokes in there. Like he's like, I'm so unlucky. And they're like, no, I mean, that was a happy mistake. That was a good thing, But I guess I get the anxiety part because like throughout the movie, he's talking to Sandra Bullock throughout the whole time. And it's like he's talking to his therapist. And
I
he's
heard
talking.
that was supposed to be like like a surprise, right?
There's a couple surprises in here, Peter. Would you like me to tell you?
Well, I know the Sandy B was supposed to be one, just like Brad Pitt was supposed to be in that her movie, and then I heard like this movie wasn't doing that great because they started adding in Sandra Bullock into the trailers to try to boost it, get some more sales in the movie theaters. But I don't know. Probably if you even tell me these other cameos, I probably won't even know who they are. Maybe
Channing Tatum.
Oh, I know that. I know him.
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I know him too.
Yeah. Michael Shannon. Well, he's not a cameo. He's the main villain.
Yeah,
Aaron Taylor Johnson. Ooh, what?
Well, Michael Shannon. I love him as a villain. That's awesome.
Dude, when I first saw Michael Shannon as villains, I didn't like him at all, but I really grew to like Michael Shannon. He very much has a Bill kind of vibe, and a lot of this, I mean, the whole thing takes place in Japan, but you see elements of Britain. Okay, so it's kind of like what's the other fucking movie? The Kingsman. Mm-hmm. Like you have all these assassins from all different parts of the world, and it's just action based, but they're all kind of dumb, but not dumb. Like Bad Bunny's in it, and he has a mission to kill X person because of something that happened. His family was murdered and stuff, and like it ties to this other person. So it's kind of like a Clue / Kill Bill kind of movie. It's one of those ones where I can't really get too far into it without spoiling it. So if you want to watch this one, I would just say watch it for what it is. I mean, like if you enjoyed The Gray Man, you would enjoy this. If you enjoyed Hobbs and Shaw, you would enjoy this. If you would enjoy Deadpool 2, it's that pace. It's that pace kind of movie,
Yeah.
It doesn't.
So fast pace, really cool action, but other than that, I guess the plot line's not quite there. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, the plot line is kind of dull, and when you start getting to the point where everything connects, you're like, oh, okay. But for me, I was kind of lost at that point, like my interest was lost. I wasn't lost in the movie, but I was already starting to put together, and I was like, okay, how's this going to end?
Yeah.
Ending's great though.
Nice.
So it's one of those movies where just you gotta watch it for yourself. I mean, I would give it an Evan score. Like it was fun.
Yeah. So how was the? I mean, like all those cameos and everything, and all these people that you're telling me, like it seems like they really gotta do like fun and wacky, characters. Would you agree? Like, is that true?
Yeah, they're all very, as the kids say nowadays, not instead of over the top, they're very extra. Like they all have this like high anxiety kind of extra to them. Even Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's supposed to be this composed assassin, he's not throughout the movie. You know,
Is it
even
too? Is it too much, or is it fun? You know what I'm saying?
it's fun. It's fun.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's not enough where it's like, man, I wish I can kind of relate it to. I mean, have you seen Atomic Blonde?
Yeah.
Very much like Atomic Blonde.
Oh, see, but I don't think Atomic Blonde was like fun. That was pretty gritty, in my opinion.
This is a fun gritty.
Yeah. Did you ever see Free Fire with Brie Larson and I think Armie Hammer's in it? A whole bunch of people in that movie.
Kind of
But,
like A Man from Uncle.
Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, that was kind of fun. Like they were kind of hamming it up,
Yeah.
in a sense. Like that. That's what I was curious, and that's kind of what I was getting from you describing it. So I just wanted to verify, and I like that. I like when you get to see these, actors just kind of have fun with their characters. That was part of the reason why I liked The Gray Man. So
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, it's on my list. I'm gonna get around to it. Not top of my list, but it's on there.
What's on the top of your list right now, Peter?
Well, I already told you, I gotta watch all the Halloween movies.
Yeah, but
And
when are you
Freddy's
gonna watch
Dead.
Bodies?
Oh man, it is Halloween season, so that is up there too.
Yeah,
I'll have to squeeze it in.
Well, if there's anything, it's a new movie, and I would say just give it a shot. Give it a shot. I think you'll absolutely agree with Peter and I.
Is it still? I think it's still in theaters. I know that, but is it available on VOD now?
Just came out yesterday.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. I knew it was right there. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, so we kind of have like two movies, just one if you need to be a completist, and the other one's just give it a shot.
Just give it a shot. You might enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, we'll tell you what we really enjoy, though.
Yes!
I enjoy it.
Oh!
Meg Ryan, I guess. I mean,
Oh! Oh, God. Oh.
I'll have what she's having.
All right, recommendations. Again, by us. For you.
Recommendations by us.
For them. I got two different ones.
Okay.
My first one, maybe this is more of a comment, but I don't. Have you ever fed a baby before, Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
You have?
Like a bottle.
No, like feed it like it's food in its mouth. Yeah, the mush. Yeah, the mush. I never really done that before, and I just fed my baby for the first time, and it was hilarious. And I got a kick out of it because every time she tried a little bit, she like and get this weird look, but then she would like come right back and open her mouth and try to get more. Like it was hilarious. So
it's a constant back and it's like a game of chess for food with the child. They want it, but they don't want it. But they don't want you to know that they don't want you to know that they want it. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's in the very early stages of this. We just barely started giving her a little bit, and I don't know. It was the first time I did it. It warmed my heart and cracked me up. So my recommendation is to feed some babies out there. Ask permission first. Next thing, I just got the hardcover of The Last Ronin I guess you would call it graphic novel, right? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles story. Would you
Was
call
it
it
graphic?
graphic novel? Yeah, it's very graphic.
And was there novel stories in it?
Well, so my wife, because I kept like calling it a graphic novel, right? And
Mhm.
she's like, "No, that's just a straight up comic book." I'm like, "But it's it's a graphic novel. Like it's just a comic book." I'm like, "But babe, that's what they call it when there's like a volume of comic books put together, and it's inside of a hard
In a
book."
story.
Yeah, and it's an overall story.
Yeah.
And like she just would not accept it. She's like, "No, I thought there'd be more words and stuff. It's just a comic book." I'm like, "I know," but excuse me, they call it a graphic novel.
I mean, she's not wrong, but
No.
here's the difference, and this is the defining word. Walking Dead had it. It was the commendum.
And yes. And so I guess that's what
Yeah.
and that's what I was going to ask you. Is there maybe you explain, like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not a graphic novel. Maybe it is like if you have monthly issues that are coming out, and then once they finish that run, that series, they complete it, and then they put it all together into a single book. What do you call that?
Condemnum.
Shit, so you wouldn't call it a graphic novel?
Dude, I would say The Last Ronin is a graphic novel because, like, the entire purpose of this series was a beginning to an end of a story, even though you got them in segments. You got to think about it. It's like The Walking Dead as a TV series would be a graphic novel because it's like one season is this story, in the comic books, you got the comics that was just shoot, dude, I'm kind of eating my words on this one.
Yeah, that's why it's weird.
Yeah.
They make volumes though, and so maybe it's a volume. But what I don't know is The Last Ronin going to continue on, or is it's one and done? Because it's one and done, I think it's absolutely a graphic novel.
Okay,
I don't know.
it's a 5-issue miniseries published by IDW. Blah blah blah. Despite being published by IDW, it is unconnected to their continuity. So it's not canon to the current story of the Ninja Turtles. It is its own thing. It's a graphic novel, and it's just like The Killing Joke. Okay, I would say The Last Ronin is like The Killing Joke.
Okay, we're going to call it a graphic novel.
Yes.
Thank you. Brian, what's your recommendation?
My recommendation is it's a graphic novel on Netflix.
Nice.
And it is the Jeffrey Dahmer series.
Oh, dude. Have you actually started watching it?
I have. I'm like 3 or 4 episodes into it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I have. The wife and I really want to watch it, but every single time we're like, "Oh, we should watch it tonight." And then, as being, parents to a young baby, we just fall asleep. So, tomorrow night is the night we're going to start watching Dahmer, and I'm super excited for it. So,
I will just leave it at that for you. Start watching it. I want to know your thoughts, and then let's reconnect on here, because if there's anything I want you to watch Dahmer, the movie that came out in 2002 with Jeremy Renner.
I have watched that one.
So just put that in the back of your mind that we have 2 MCU actors who have played Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh shit, yeah.
And if you've watched the one with Jeremy Renner, you remember how eerie that movie was and how graphic that movie was. So when you watch the series, do a little comparison, because I did, and I was like, everybody's like, "Oh my god, Dahmer's so hard to watch the series," and I'm like, it's actually not. Like, it's pretty informative. So
I'm gonna have to do like a little recap on the Jeremy Renner one. I know I watched it, but I'm trying to. It's vaguely there, but I think I need to watch like some clips or something. So nice. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it, and I can't wait to start it. Ryan, it's been a hoot.
Hoot.
Yeah. And until next week,
Pew pew out, motherfuckers. What's really cool is in that song, our outro song, someone's just going buck wild shooting lasers.
Beyond our call.